On day one, the administration began removing words like bias and inclusion from government documents. They targeted federal history sites, specifically aiming to rewrite the narrative presented at the National Museum of African American History and Culture. In Washington, D.C., the administration pressured the city to remove the Black Lives Matter mural painted on the street leading to the White House. News reports often frame these actions as a standard partisan fight over patriotism. Investigative journalist Nicole Hannah-Jones argues that erasing history is the first step in erasing rights. These cultural battles signal a change in policy. Public policy relies on the foundation of public memory. When that memory dissolves, the legal structure it supports begins to tilt. This diagram shows the logic. A widely understood history of systemic racism serves as the foundation for policies like the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Removing that foundation makes those corrective policies appear as unearned privileges, making them politically easier to dismantle. Dr. Kimberly Crenshaw points out that purging terms like discrimination from government spaces removes the vocabulary needed to describe these changes. Removing specific records of the past creates the ideological environment for a rollback of economic gains. The administration moved forward with 8 specific administrative actions targeting Black economic progress. They ended federal diversity and inclusion programs and implemented audits where failing to report these initiatives can lead to termination. They revoked Executive Order 11246, the 1965 rule that required federal contractors to follow affirmative action guidelines. They also moved to cut the federal workforce. This bar chart shows the impact. Black workers are concentrated in the federal government at much higher rates than in the private sector. These cuts isolate economic loss to a demographic group that has historically used federal roles to enter the middle class. Cultural debates over history provide the cover for shifts in wealth and job security. This cycle of erasure followed by disenfranchisement has repeated throughout American history. Protests following the murder of George Floyd created a brief period of corporate and political commitments to equity. That era is now being met with a backlash similar to the end of the first Reconstruction. In 1877, the federal government withdrew civil protections to appease political opponents, ushering in the Jim Crow era. Historically, periods of Black success are consistently met with systemic legislative rollback. The fallout of the current backlash is already visible in the economy. In 2025, Black women lost jobs at 3 times the rate of all other women in professional sectors. Job offers and scholarships are being rescinded as experts are purged from high-level roles. Among the remaining federal workforce, these audits have created an environment of anticipatory compliance. The focus on library books and museum plaques hides the dismantling of civil and economic rights occurring in plain sight.